All right. We're coming in. We got a great discussion tonight. It's probably going to take a little longer than an hour, but we're going to try to keep it maybe an hour, a little bit under. All right, come on in. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Live, uncut, unedited. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. This is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth and shame the devil. All right, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Hey, everybody, hey, everybody. All right, show some love. Show some love. Come on in, people. We here. We here. We here. We here. We here. Show some love. We're going to get right into the subject, people, right into the subject. We're talking about the migrants. What I'm hearing, they had a meeting in Hyde Park at the promontory today, and I didn't know anything about it. I wish I have known. I would have been there and brought it to you live, uncut, unedited, but I took some we have some pieces from Africa Porter. A lot of you guys know her. Those of you are from the city of Chicago. She's one of the great pillars here in the city of Chicago. She's great. And she's a sister. So I'm going to use her footage and we're going to listen to what they were saying. We're going to peep in. So those of you that's coming in late, make sure you let the people know that we're talking about the migrants moving in Hyde Park, somewhere coming in Hyde Park, and they're having a meeting at the promontory. So I won't have to keep repeating myself. All right. I'm going to bring this movie and bring it in. And let's see. I think that's it. Hold on, let me make sure that I got it. Okay, all right, it is right here. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna bring it in, bring it in. Boom, right there. Okay, share on the screen. All right, that's what we're gonna talk about. Let's get to it.
We want to make sure you continue to make your voice heard as to where you want those dollars to go. Thank you. Ask a question about reparations and now.
Hi, D. Walker. I have some questions about. I see the people sleeping on the sidewalk in front of the police station. I don't understand why. I go to the post office downtown. It's gigantic. It's empty. It's heated. I don't understand why the federal buildings are not being used. Number one. Number two. I would like to know how the other neighborhoods in Chicago are being asked to give. For example, Lincoln Park, are they also being asked to give in the same way that the south side of Chicago is being asked to give?
Live on Cut Unedited. This is talking about the migrants in Hyde Park at the promontory.
The first part of the question as to why you're seeing people sleeping on the sidewalks outside of police stations highlights the scale of the problem. The police stations are actually full to the brim to the point that you're seeing people sleep outside. That has to be part of the challenge. As to your question about why federal buildings are not being used, because it is the federal government, they're the ones that have purview. What the city's been doing is looking at the city buildings to start figuring that out. So currently, there are 16 different shelters set up in different spots in all parts of town. North, south, there's some in Andersonville, there's some on the northwest side of town. That being said, there are communities where those haven't been set up yet. What the city's looking to do is find the buildings that are able to hold 250 people or more citywide that are able to function as shelters. So they're going to continue to move that process forward.
Let's know the name as well. The residents of Hyde Park. Listen in, people.
This is not technically designated as a federal emergency by the president. Without that declaration of emergency, for example, we can't activate the Red Cross, which would typically be an agency that would act. And also on the federal buildings, because it's not a federal emergency, it deters that sort of mobilization. And on the shelters, I think it was mentioned, shelters are spread across the city. It's been a matter of capacity. Over 200 facilities have been vetted, and we have, like was mentioned,
Yes, I'm on YouTube.
Facilities downtown, Rogers Park. Just wanted to name some, especially the lack of
Jeff
federal
White, I'm on
emergency
YouTube.
deterring a lot of these small organizations. So thank you.
Listen up,
Thank you.
people.
Next question.
My name is Mary Hines-Berry. My concern is about the education of the children who are here and who desperately need schooling and services. Are local schools going to be used, and what resources is the city going to provide to make sure that they have the kind of support in gaining the language and beginning to understand what's going on?
Sorry. Okay, we are working with the Chicago Public Schools to ensure that all school-age children are enrolled immediately. We do have a process when folks are coming in to make sure they're enrolled. We currently do have enrollments happening for children that are currently in police stations. So when they are then transferred to shelter, we're making sure that they, if the family decides they want to continue attending the school that they were enrolled in previously, or if they want to attend school that's closer to the shelter that's the school that's surrounding the shelter they were placed in, we're ensuring that that connection is made. We are working with students living in temporary situations, and we are making sure that students are enrolled.
So are they using local schools? Yes. Thank you.
Live uncut.
Thank you. Next question.
Residents of Hyde Park.
My name is Nancy Herring. You mentioned that immigrants have already been at Lakeshore Hotel in January and again in March. Tell me how many, please, if you can. And are they still there, or have they been processed in some way? And what was the community experience for those folks?
It was bad. It was bad.
I'm not asking.
Well, I'm telling you.
I'd like to know if there were a bump in police calls, if people,
Live uncut, unedited.
how they are moved out, what that process is. And when do you expect to have nonprofit information available somewhere, maybe on your website for donations and that sort of thing?
Yeah, so we were there in January through April of this year. We weren't seeing the surge of the buses coming in every day, so we were able to decompress some of our sites. We were able to open up additional sites, and so we were able to, while we were occupying Lakeshore and the Best Western, we were able to send folks into other shelters that we set up. I think some of them were Wadsworth, some of the Social Club. I think so at the Lakeshore we had about 120 residents, and then with the Best Western, I think we had a total of 380, and so that was our occupancy there.
Okay, next question. And then before you ask your question, I'm going to ask the following folks to get in line, please. Martine, Doris Lewis, Bridget Mariates, Joe Kirsten, and Linda Tuttle. Oh, and Robert Carroll.
Live uncut,
I
unedited.
just want to go a little broader, just for a bit. And we are all familiar with the saying that the rich get richer while the poor pay the price, right? And I believe that what's going on here is an example of that. It's an example of the rich people trying to pit black against white, against Latinx, and they want us to fight each other. They want us to fight each other instead of fighting against the real people that hold power in this country. And it's not just that a lot of them are white, that's true, but there's also a lot of poor white people, and I don't know why I'm getting into an argument with you about that. But anyway, moving on. So my question is, what is going on in Venezuela that causes people to make this long, arduous trip all the way up here because they are looking for a better life? What are the conditions there that are forcing people to come here?
Thank you for your question and comment.
This is the meeting in Hyde Park at the promontory. about the migrants.
The question as to why we're seeing a lot of mass migration from Central South American countries as well as other ones, because the U.S. intervened in those countries in the 70s and 80s to make as much profit as they can make. They destabilized those governments, and you're seeing that happen. Another factor that you're seeing is climate change. You're going to see more migration as the world keeps getting hotter, and that's a lot of the situation that we're working with government.
All right, next question. You're right. Can we bring it down a little bit just so we can get through the questions? Can we bring it down a little bit so we can get through the questions?
Listen up, people. This is in the Hyde Park area, the promontory.
What?
Live, uncut, unedited. I wasn't able to make it.
Listen, real quick. I know that there are a lot of concerns, particularly those affecting black people in Chicago. Right? I'm black. I've been in Chicago my whole life. I know this. But what's missing is that if we're yelling these comments, the other folks can't hear your pain or hear your question. So this is why we're asking for an early process. I know the stuff y'all got to say and agree with most of it. But if they can't hear you, they can't agree with it. Okay?
I'm Lucy Astley. My husband and I live in a high-rise, 1/2 a block from the shelter, or the proposed shelter. We believe that every community should support the asylum seekers. But I have a question for my neighbors. My neighbors want to know, some of them, what organization will be running the shelter so that we can get in touch with them to coordinate with them and support the people who are there.
So the Department of Family Support Services will be managing the shelter. The Department of Family Support Services will be managing the facility, and we have partnership with Favorite Staffing. They're providing the staffing for us to manage the facility.
Next question, please. Yeah, 90 seconds. 90 seconds for the response.
Okay,
so keep that in mind.
Okay, all right.
Okay, go ahead.
So my first question is, I don't understand why we didn't know that they were already living in the shore. Okay, that one just came up because I didn't know. I didn't know that. And I felt as though we should have been informed. Okay, we should have been informed. Okay. My second question is there some type of vetting process in place? I mean, how do we know that these are not criminals coming into our community? You know?
These are legitimate questions.
Are there rules? Because your list, the paper that you passed out doesn't mention anything about guns or other weapons or, I think it does mention illicit drugs, but it doesn't mention anything about weapons, guns, you know, and what's the other one? Okay, I can't remember the other one. Well, yeah, sex trafficking too, you know.
So two questions. One, like, how do we know who's coming? And then the first question, or how do we know who's here, rather? And then the second question, or which was actually your first question, is why didn't we find out?
Live, uncut, unedited, people.
I was not alderman then, but I don't know if there's anybody here from the city that can speak to why folks didn't find out about it until people are already here. And to your point, where's the transparency? Which is why. Okay, I mean, that's appreciated. I found out on Wednesday, called a meeting immediately. I don't know what happened before I got here. But in the spirit of transparency, this is why we're in the room, because I felt it was important for community members to know what was going on in their neighborhood, even if the mayor's office wasn't going to. Okay? And then somebody speak to the vetting process, or if there's a vetting process for minors.
Another question, ma'am. So like it was mentioned before, it is under U.S. and international law that seeking asylum is something you could do, meaning you can show up to a port of entry and say, I am seeking asylum for these reasons. There is a process in place where folks are interviewed and fingerprinted to check if there's any database flags. That they are paroled into their country for a year and have about that time frame to apply for asylum. When you mentioning, some of the rules like not having obviously weapons and drugs, isn't there obviously the best interest to adhere to the rules in order that the process isn't rejected? And so that process is in place at the border as it is.
I think a long time.
I'll repeat again. There is a process in place at the port of entry. That's obviously Border Patrol who's doing that vetting and paroling people in for a time frame of a year. There is a peer interview that they have to go through, and then check-ins once they're here with ICE to ensure that they're in the path for potential asylum.
Thank you. Next question. Or when you hold on, y'all. When you ask your question, before you ask your question, can you mention your name so the folks know who's in the room?
My name is Doris Lewis. Well, I want to begin by saying I am absolutely livid. And you all are so hypocritical.
Listen up.
I live right across the street from that hotel. Back in the spring when they were over there, they would be on our lawn, on our benches. I walk all the time. I'm walking around the building. What do I walk up on? 3 men urinating on the building. You call the police. You do not come. You lie. You do not come. I have never been afraid as I am now because I walk a lot. I walk around my building. I am afraid. I don't want them there. Take them someplace else or send them back to Venezuela. I don't care where they go. This is wrong. You got 73% of the people homeless in this city are black people. What have you done for them? What are you doing for the thousands of black children who are not in school? Nothing. Nothing. And let me make it, we are not immigrants. I am a descendant of enslaved Africans who built this damn country. And they are not doing fair about black people in this city or in this country, period. We're tired of this. We are the asylum seekers. We should be seeking because you're running us off the land. Everywhere there's a large population of black people.
Come on. We got your message, George. We got your message.
He told us.
We got your message. Who's up next?
He told us we're gonna pause it right there, people, and we'll come in and pick some. We tried the crowd.
Hold on. Can we get a little bit more water in the room?
You're out of order. You are out of order.
I disagree.
You not represent. You black politicians. You don't represent us. You represent us.
Thanks, sir. Can we bring it down so Doris, be respectful during your comments? Could you be respectful? Doris, come on. We all are angry. We all are angry. Can we have this conversation respectfully? We hear you. Hold on a minute. Doris, come on. Doris, we understand. Doris, we understand, but can we make space for everybody else to talk? Can we please make space for everyone else to talk? There are a lot of opinions in the room, and yelling and devolving into chaos isn't going to get us anything.
Live uncut unedited.
Can y'all take that somewhere else, please? No. If you came to this meeting to give information and to tell people about your thoughts and concerns about migrants moving into the Rachel Hotel, let's have that conversation. If you came to this meeting just to yell, Because and mind you, like I said, hold on, wait. You can protest all you want. What I'm saying is, what I am asking respectfully is that the people who have notes and would like to make comments to the room have the time to make their comments to the room. Because there are several in this room that have monopolized the time that we have here, and that is disrespectful. Okay? I've been protesting for 20 years. I know how to protest. Okay? All I'm asking is that we have this conversation that we're trying to have today. Next question, please.
Hi, my name is Joe Kirsten. I love my neighborhood. I love my neighbors. I love my city. I love my new neighbors who are going to be moving in. Thank you all for the work that you do. I absolutely hate that President Biden has allowed this situation where Greg Abbott can do this to our neighborhood. We've got 7 TV cameras who knew to show up to a community meeting. We never have TV cameras at community meetings, knowing that we're all going to fight with each other. So what I'm asking is, I know you can't answer, but can we get Mayor Johnson to stand up and ask President Biden? Like, he's not going to see this. President Biden's not watching me, but he's going to be here next year. He stood next to Brandon Johnson. He can talk to him. He'll pick up the phone, and we can't. So that's all.
Thank you for your comment. Next comment or question.
I have 2 questions, but first I think that this is an excellent use of the Lakeshore Hotel. I think that it's amazing that families will be able to be in rooms separate and not in one large door. But I have 2 questions. One is that I've spoken to folks who live at Wadsworth, and I've heard that they're not allowed to bring food, outside food, to it. So I want to check in about how people are actually going to be able to eat while they're in the shelter and what that process looks like. And then second, I want to know, Joe Biden is here today, Lakeshore Drive and I-55 are closed for her. So how are we getting that FEMA money? That is obvious. And then third, what is the process for using these spaces, since we're doing this entire process to figure out empty spaces and things like that, so that they can permanently turn into assisted living or transitional housing?
Sounds like a Peter Princess.
Where are the Haitians? Yeah,
We do provide meals every single day. We provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For most facilities, we don't allow for food from the outside food to be, well, we don't allow food from the outside to come in. For the Lakeshore, we would allow folks to bring meals from the outside in. They can't bring them to their dormitory, to the rooms. We want to make sure that we're avoiding pests and that rooms are being kept clean, and it's intentional as we avoid bugs and pests. But we would allow folks to bring food from the outside so that they can eat it in the congregate dining areas, because we'll have it in the congregate.
There was a question on the FEMA money, the shelter and food program, which is the only viable option to get assistance for these operations. The city has gotten very minimal support through that program. In fact, the cities who are participating in this busing operation receive the majority of that funding. And I know it's been brought up a couple of times in terms of, yes, Venezuela, to the majority of the group arriving, but we are seeing folks from all over the country. Recently, Haitians are arriving on these buses, and they're arriving on buses.
You know Haitians riding on the buses.
It was as of this week. I'm not sure which shelter they're at, but they are arriving. They have been arriving for some time now, but officially, recently on these taxi
They don't want
buses,
no Haitians.
we're seeing folks from Colombia, Nicaragua, Honduras, all over the place. But I just wanted to name that there's folks from all over the world coming to the city of Chicago. And I just want to name that a lot of countries are going through so much situation. So I just want to name that. Thank you.
Next question or comment?
Yes, he did. I don't know where he is. I don't know where you been, but he did.
Sarah, can you share your Haitian community answer?
The Haitian community has absorbed the Haitians that came in on the bus, correct? The Haitian community is, so they are not in our shelters. They are not in our shelters. We have 16
have shelters all over the city. We are putting in a lot of communities, north side, west side, south side.
Okay, next question or comment?
It's getting good, people. We're trying to cut it off.
If you have a comment, make sure you fill out a card. Next question or comment?
My name is Linda Tuttle, and I live very near to the Lakeshore Hotel, and I can look down on it, and I have to tell you, the last time the Republicans were there, they were doing drugs. We watched them, and I wasn't the only one that did. I didn't see security there. We have a problem with that hotel property outside of this because they do drugs out there, and there's a lot of crime that goes out there, and there are no policemen in our area. Last incident in our area, we were told we were pretty much on our own because the police's hands are tied. I like the police, but you can't do what you need to do. Our area is very compact. 300 people are a lot of people to put into that facility and put into our community. And if you look at Woodlawn, that is not successful. That's a disaster that's happening there. So I would really ask you to really think about what you're doing, because this is not going to work with this quantity of people in this area. It's just not humane. It's not good.
Thank you for your comment.
One more question. Who owns the hotel?
We'll try to get that information from you. Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. So someone from the city will have that information before they pay the private entity who owns the hotel. The university doesn't own it, from what I understand. Is that correct? It is not owned by the University of Chicago. Next question.
Yes, I've lived in Hyde Park, I say in excess of 35, 40 years. My question is twofold. One part of it is a safety issue, which I'm sure a lot of people want that addressed. And the other part of it is a governmental issue. The first part of the question is, will there be a curfew, as they have at Washington?
Washington ain't got no commercial.
To regulate migrants, I want them to grow and not feel constrained, but I think that that's an issue, especially over there in Indian Village, because it's, like I say, it's an issue of parking and the other ancillary.
Good question, brother.
And then second of all, I spend a lot of time in the suburbs, outside the city. Have we engaged our suburban municipal partners? I heard that Oak Park, Bellwood, and Matson, I don't know if this is true or not, but the city was talking to them to see if they can absorb some of these migrants and help put something out there. Is that true, or is that just an urban legend?
If somebody can answer either of those two questions.
Thank you.
Curfew is at 11 o'clock at night. The doors close. They open back up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
They already illegal. Not worried about curfew.
As far as other cities, Chicago is engaging with other cities. Evanston, Skokie have been taking on some, but that conversation needs to continue for cities like Aurora, Elgin, Berwyn, that are more culturally congruent. But those conversations are happening to get more cities to take on some of the capacity.
Thank you.
Before we go further, I do want to acknowledge Alderman Lamont Robinson in the 4th Ward, who's also in the room. The 4th Ward boundary is at the IC tracks, and so just 2 blocks away from where the shelter is going, it affects technically folks in the 4th Ward. So I wanted to make sure that we acknowledge that he's here also to hear your concerns about this.
I think the hotel is on Lake Park.
So if you could mention your name and your comment.
Hi, my name is
I'll try.
Tillman. I ran for alderman of the 21st Ward, February 28th. I am an asylum seeker right here, right now. Okay, I have a background because I had a fist fight. I got a conviction that kicked me off the ballot from running. And I was the second in line when we filed our petitions as far as the signatures go. I was second to Mosley, who won the race. And the Board of Elections don't lie. I'm an asylum seeker right here. I can't get my record expunged even though I went through the clemency process. Going through the clemency process, my paperwork disappeared. I got everything stamped with the dates on it. Okay, but my stuff disappeared. Where's my help at? Where's my help at? Then Governor Pritzker is pushing their things through so that they can become working citizens, but all my things are being denied because of my background. I had a fist fight. You got rapers, murderers coming over here and jumping before me. And I got one more thing to say. You say the Haitians is in their community? Put them in their community. Put them over there.
Thank you for your comments, sister. Thank you.
Put them over there where they're going to put them in the kills some God knows where.
All right, thank you for
And
that.
then I've been homeless. When I was homeless, y'all wouldn't let me
Sister,
be at home. No,
please. Don't touch. Let's not touch anybody. Sister, come on. All right, but before the next gentleman speaks, I just want to give you names so we can get a little more folks in the queue. So June Northley, Bill Housewright, Erica Dunn, Adrena Edwards, Cheryl Matlock, Felicia Griffin, and Julia Klein.
We're going to hear a few more, then we're going to stop. We're going to start taking calls. Get the call line ready.
Okay, sir, your comment or question? Sir, your comment or question?
My name is Owen Lawson. I'm a Fifth Ward resident. En route to this meeting, I passed black homeless people sleeping under the metro. And I want to know, will they have access to these facilities? Absolutely not. They are homeless, and they are American citizens. And if they will not have access, are you prepared to make any provisions?
No.
And secondly, my second question, there was a mental health facility in Woodlawn that the previous mayor, Ron Emanuel, closed. Is any money going to be set aside, any of that $50 million going to be set aside and reopen that facility?
You want to speak on this?
Yes. Currently, as far as the locations that the shelters are in, because the federal money is not money specifically for that, the existing population is not having access. But what we are having are conversations about creating one shelter system where no matter who you are, you come in, because we have plenty of people out there that need housing. That's something we're in communication with the administration now to get done.
Well, I'm going over there on Lakeshore Drive to see if I can get in.
Yes. Treatment, not trauma, is a campaign that we're working on right now to move forward so that we open the mental health clinics and also create a no police crisis response for those that need it. That is moving forward right now through City Council, and we're having conversations through the budget to make sure that we reopen the mental health clinics that Rahm Emanuel closed.
This project that we discussed, is this temporary and permanent, and how much did it cost?
The goal, I believe, is to do both. That we have people right now that temporarily need help, knowing that we have people that need long-term help that live here that have not had the help either. We think it presents an opportunity to create a shelter system that deals with the people who have been here that also need the help long-term. And if we get the work authorization from President Biden, which is what we should all be calling for, then folks that are there right now can find jobs, find places to live, and it opens up more space to the existing population that needs it.
That's not my question. My question is about the people in the facility here. Is this a permanent, are they going to be a permanently, or is this temporary?
No, that was the answer to it. We wanted to get work authorization, so it's not permanent for that.
All right. Next comment or question?
you for the question.
I know, right? I know, right? Who are they?
Do they have a name? Have we fingerprinted them? Do we know who they are?
Have they been fingerprinted?
And he says it relates to the hotel, Lakeshore Hotel. There will be families with children that will be staying there. And on the fingerprint question, there is a process at port of entry that you go through fingerprints. There's
They told them not to mess with black people.
And then the parole in, so yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, so the Lakeshore facility will be sheltering mainly families with children.
Okay, next comment or question. Thank you for your question.
All right, a couple of more, then we're done, people.
Thank you again for courageous and
It's getting good.
This took a lot
Thank you,
of
Africa
courage
Porter,
to
for
get
sharing the
together
video.
and hear this discussion that hasn't happened before, so thank you for doing it. My question about children. How many children are coming? Do we have a place for them in the schools? Have we looked at their health care, their immunizations, so that these children can actually, so that 3 and 4 and 5-year-olds are not standing outside the school when the school gets shut?
We're looking to bring on families that are currently staying at police districts. So it's limited, but we do have health providers on ground helping providing assessments and doing checkups. But once they get into shelter, we will connect them to they will have an initial medical screening, and so we will be providing that to everybody that's going to be coming into the Lakeshore Hotel.
I want to know if a black family go over there, can they get in? No. If a black family with children go over there, can they get in?
Next question, please.
Hi, how are you? So my name is Rosamund Williams, and young lady in the white shirt said that if they violate, she's not listening. Excuse me, this is you. So if you said if they violate their they curfew twice, then where do they go? What happens? What happens?
They go to the street.
Yeah. So if
can you talk to the mic? You can't hear you.
Yeah, so if they so we do have shelter rules, curfew, they have to meet curfew. If they violate it, so because we will, specifically for the Lakeshore, the families we're serving, we won't be asking them to, we will be looking, if there's opportunities to transfer them to other facilities, we will. But if they don't have that ability, we will have to ask them to go back to police districts and shelter.
So go back where?
Police districts.
The police district?
Yeah.
So you're saying that if they violate on the Hyde Park, and then they just gonna go somewhere else, and then still keep violating,
Yeah. If the minute that discharge families from shelter, that means that a family and a child, or children in their family are still on the street.
The number is on the screen. You can call. We're going to take calls in a minute. And then Arlington. Call-in numbers on the screen. It should be coming across the screen.
Hey, we were like, sister. Well, comment, please.
Hi, my name is Felicia Griffin, and I live here in Hyde Park. I have two concerns. I went to the Wadsworth location to donate some items for the migrants over there, and they showed me what you were feeding them. They had bread that had mold on it, and the bologna had turned green. We have to take care of them children. I don't care whatever's going on. These are children that have been traumatized enough, and we must take care of them. The second thing is our school system. None of the schools here in Hyde Park is set up for ESL. Are you going to put the resources in there so that the kids can learn in their own language until they get caught up in English and not have our English-speaking kids being held back?
Yeah, so we work with our food providers to make sure that all of the meals are safe to eat, and an instance like that is not acceptable to us. We do have conversations with the food providers to inform them of the situation. And so
I can't hear you very well.
We don't, if there's an issue with the meals, we will replace. We will work with the provider to have replacements.
Was that your full question?
ESL.
Yeah, so we're working with Chicago Public Schools to enroll students in
Next question, comment?
Hi there, my name is Julia Klein. I'm a recently elected police district councilor here in the 2nd District. I was elected to hold police accountable. It is galling to me that we call this an emergency when there has been so little attention paid to what has been happening in our city for years and decades and centuries. This is not an emergency if what we've been living through is not an emergency. That said, as a Hyde Park resident, yes, I want more affordable housing in my neighborhood. However, it cannot be that it goes only to migrants and not to existing houseless people. Where there must be sister shelters set up. If we do a shelter for black folks, we got to do a shelter for migrants and vice versa. And it's got to be one-to-one, if not more emphasis on existing. And I do appreciate Alderperson Vasquez, you talking about how what's been going on in the city has not been fair, and black communities have been disinvested in, and you are working really hard to rectify that, and I appreciate that. And the last thing I want to say is I want to echo what somebody said, several people before me, and I think that the person left, that this is the richest country in the world. And there are approximately 2,000 billionaires in this country who have 85% of our money. And we need to break open, and yes, they're mostly white people, and we need to break open those piggy banks and sprinkle that money around the rest of us. Thank you.
Next time.
Thank you.
What just happened? I'm sorry. Hold on, wait. I don't even know what's happening. What's your name called? Hold on, I'm trying to find out what's happening. I'm asking.
Done.
Can we figure out something without me getting involved?
Listen up, people.
So, Ms. Yancey, it's nice to see you again. I wanted to give you a reminder before I make my comment. Please remember that Sister Doris and I, we worked really hard to make people cast a vote for you. No one even knew who you were, okay? And the only reason that I helped you is because you said you were a community organizer. And I said to you when we had that meeting, we want to see that side of you. We don't want you to come in here and fall in with the rest of these people and start working the same agenda against us, okay? So now, this is what's happening, and I want you all to pay attention to this, especially black people that's being pushed out of our homes. This is a hostile takeover. This is the first phases of a hostile takeover. They are emptying their jails, their insane asylums in Mexico and Venezuela. These people are coming across the border. They're murderers. They're rapists, they're thieves. You understand? And I'm not saying all of them, and I have a heart for a child. But don't tell me that you ran fingerprints on all of these people. We had a 4-year-old to get raped at Rainbow Beach on the 4th of July by an immigrant. Last week, 2 immigrants were arrested for shooting a black woman 10 times in Garfield Park. Okay? Fentanyl is ravaging our community. Fentanyl is ravaging our community. So stop telling me, and the last thing, this asylum seeker my ass. These people are breaking into the country. Period. If I broke into a phone booth, I would be arrested. If I broke into a cardboard box, I would be arrested. They attacked an elder black woman at Wadsworth. About 5 or 6 of them. Not one of them went to jail. Not one of them went to jail. If those were black men attacking that woman, they all would have went to jail.
I hear you. Thank you. Thank you for that.
You dropped it.
No question.
Lord, have mercy.
Come on, can we bring it back down a little bit? We only got about a half hour.
All right, y'all. I want to end it right there. And
Jackson homeowners,
Come on. Let's give it a minute. Bring it down. Thank you.
I will say that there was some disturbances at Wadsworth, and that was not the situation where it was some senior lady that was attacked by 5 migrants. That was not the case. There was an argument or dispute over parking in the alley, which escalated to name calling and a physical fight.
Oh Lord. All right, people. Let's get it on. All right, the phone line's open, 872-299-0808, 872-297-6389, 872-297-6389, or 872-299-0808. You're welcome to call in. Let's talk about it. Come on, people. Talk about it. You heard at least a half an hour worth of videotape. I'll tell you, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this tape? This happened today at the Promontory in Hyde Park. Those just tuned in, that's what you was witnessing, what was going on. They're talking about the migrants in Hyde Park staying at the Momo. What would I call it? Motel. I believe it's on South Shore. So I need some callers. Need some new callers. Come on, call in, people. Come and talk to me. 872-299-0808. 872-297-6389. Live, uncut, unedited. All right, let's talk. People. This is time to talk. Okay, I got my first caller. 9433. Go ahead, caller. Caller. 9433.
Caller. 9433.
If not, come on, 2322. Come on.
2223.
Come on with it. Do me a favor. You need to turn your Facebook down. Turn your Facebook down because it's an echo. We don't want to echo while you're talking.
Hey, Martin.
Okay, that's much better. Go ahead, sister. Go ahead. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts?
This is crazy. I am so tired of them passively aggressively forcing honor. Like, for real. And so tired. They've been trying to
hold it, ma'am. Hold it. Somebody, I need y'all to mute your phone, callers, or callers. I need you guys to mute your phone because I hear echo. I believe it's the 224 number. Area code.
Well, my number's the 2223.
No, I'm talking about 224. That's where I hear the echo come from. Okay, go ahead. 2322. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So this has been going on for some time, and I don't see it get any better. I really believe that we're on the brink of something major happening. Crime is escalating. They're trying to lie and tell us anything. They try to play in our faces and believe that we're just supposed to go with it. And I'm over it. I'm I'm all for loving people and all of that, but we have to take care of ourselves first.
Okay. I
Not
agree.
being heard. Okay.
Yeah, you've been heard. I'm just listening. I'm listening. I just want you to say what hey, I'm listening.
And furthermore, I blame the politicians.
Okay.
Because how we get in this situation in the first place? First of all, there's budgets, there are funds that has to be allotted for, and they have misappropriated funds. It have been misappropriated funds. And I'm speaking of, in particular, the South Shore school that they rebuilt.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I did get word that they had migrants in there as well. Out there and kicked the kids out of the school.
I don't know about they
Claimed
didn't.
that the school was an underperforming school.
Okay.
So none of this sound familiar to you?
Well, I know that they have no migrants in South Shore, as far as at the school. That I do know.
Okay.
That
So
I do
is your
know.
school in the South Shore area?
Yeah, well, that not in the
Oh,
South Shore school. Now in the area, I don't know, but in that school building, no,
the new building.
no. The new building, you got the
Mm.
students, but not the migrants. Not no migrants in neither one of the buildings. Yeah,
Well, I
but
tell you what, they were showing up trying to get up in there.
they definitely were. But hold on, sister,
They were down to say that.
I got another
The
call.
community didn't allow it. That's what happened.
That's right. That's right. That's
But I
right.
know my girl, she's on the team. They did not allow it. And I don't blame Hyde Park for being turned up right now because I wouldn't have it either.
All right. What area are you from?
I'm in Chatham.
Okay,
Martin, and you see me all the time.
okay. All right. All right. All right. Let me go to the next caller. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Martin.
All right, no problem. 9433. Come on, caller. Hey, come on with it. Okay, hold it, hold it, hold it. Now you go now you muffled now. I don't know if you got your phone. You sound like you muffled. After hold on. I can't hear you properly. We can't hear you properly because it sounds like you muffled. Muffled meaning that you sound like you're far away or something. You got to put your mouth on the phone. Or you got an earpiece on or what? We can't hear you. Yeah, I hear you now, but
Okay. Okay.
like
I
that.
said it's all about the mighty dollar with Chicago.
Okay.
And I blame nobody but the politicians.
Okay.
I blame every politician because I'm a hard-working taxpayer. I can't get no benefit. And they giving them all to them. It's sad. I'm a hard-working taxpayer. I can't.
Okay. All right. Hold it right there. Let me go to the next caller. Hold. I had echo.
Okay.
Hold it right there. 1264. Last four digits. 1264.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Thank you for taking my call, and thank you for all that you do.
You're welcome.
I just want to say that we need to organize, and it's the Democrats, that the ones that we vote for all the time. I've been a Democrat all my life, but what I have seen over the last 10 to 15 years, I'm changing my mind. I'm sorry. We need to organize and we need to march, just like the Black Matters march. We need to march down City Hall. We need to march where Pritzker is at. You know, we need to march and they need to close the sanctuary city. We cannot afford them. They ran the blacks up out of the community, you know, and they're putting the Hispanics. I'm not just saying the asylum seekers, but all of the Hispanics are taking over the black community.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to march, just like we can get together for anything else. You know, we need to get together and march and let our voice be heard. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you, sister. All
and
right.
change your vote.
No problem. All right. 6336. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Martin, what's up? This is Lamont, man.
What's up, Lamont?
I want to commend you on the great work you're doing, man, because it's a very vital topic. And I want to say I thank God for you bringing it to us. Now, the question is, what are we going to do about it? You know, I want to also mention that we letting our youth beat us with a trend. We need to do a trend in a positive way, and we need to put the full press on these Democrats and let them know we gonna go Republican. And so we need to create a trend where we all meet up in thousands and it's like that what they had tonight and speak that type of language. See, we got to speak the language to get them to give us what we want. And I agree with the sister that just left about the Democrat. We got to flip. But the only way we going to get them to do what we want them to do is say we going Republican. So I mentioned the youth because they could show up in thousands and hundreds and it may be a negative look, but we need to show up like that with a positive march and a positive word and speech on. We not taking that no more, because if we really looking, they straight up disrespecting us like we don't exist. So if we don't create something like that, you know, I would go right with you, brother. I got a deep network. I'm a community activist. You know, I did Inglewood, Auburn, Gresham, Chatham, and I got them shorties. So we need to, that's what I want to hear. If anyone have any suggestions, that's going to be his next spokesperson on this line. What are we going to do about it?
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. No problem. All right. I believe 4093. Go ahead, call it. Last 4 digits of your number. 4093.
That's live, uncut, unedited.
Yes, sir. You already know what it is. Live, uncut,
You know what it
unedited.
is.
Come on, old timer, talk to us.
Well, now I'm agreeing with the angst that the people have about it.
Okay.
But when they start talking about not going Democrat, well, see, now you got my attention. Not to change, but to make it better. See, black people have to understand the Democratic Party is your base. And if your base erodes, well, the Republicans might give you some streetlights. But you don't have no voice in that party. So you have to stay here. If anybody that want to run in Chicago, that want to get any kind of job, they're going to have to run as a Democrat. So these people that's getting on here talking, they don't know what they're talking about. And they're making the statement because these are statements that are made with Chicago is already a sanctuary city. They got to look at the facts. This city here has stated that it's a sanctuary city. And they got laws that govern sanctuary cities. So you have to get the facts straight and chop away it and get rid of it being a sanctuary city. You can do that. But make no mistake about it, Chicago is a sanctuary city. And that means that people can come there and they can't turn them away. Now, what this man did in Texas, he may have
old time. Old time.
Up there.
Hold on, I got an echo.
Yes, sir.
917, turn your volume down. 917, turn your volume down. It's you.
917, turn your
Okay,
volume.
I'll cut them down. They don't do it. Go ahead, old time. I'm sorry. Go ahead, 40.
Oh, okay. Now, if what Mr. Abbott did down in Texas, he first of all, he caught everybody off by surprise. Nobody was thinking that he was going to bust these people. And by him being a Caucasian man, the Caucasians let him get off with it. If that would have been a black governor, they probably sent them people back. But these Caucasian people are flexing their muscles all around the United States. And they ain't got nothing black about it. The black people ain't got nothing to do with this. This is something that's benefiting them. These migrants gonna benefit them. And black people just gonna have to find a way to get up and go to work. Like I've been telling you all the time. They got to get up and go to work because when they go to these restaurants, the migrants gonna be there. When you got all these catastrophes around the world, the migrants gonna be there. The blacks have been run out of baseball. The Hispanics are taking over that. But they ain't making no waves. And these migrants not gonna make any waves when they go to that Caucasian man's job. So we got to figure out what we want to do. Because this is something that's been coming on all the time. But for these people to get on here talking about the Democrats, they don't know what they're talking about. Because everybody got to fight for their rights. And you got to put a platform down in the Democratic Party and you got to make them stick to it. But if you run in and abandon that, like these guys running around talking about, man, I'm voting for Trump. And what did Trump tell y'all? Your schools are failing, your neighborhoods are bad. He talked about you right in front of your face. And you talking about you're going to vote for him. Oh, man, just put this, hold the Democrats to their feet to the fire, just like the Republicans hold their constituents' feet to the fire. It's a fight, man. It's a fight to the finish, and only the strong going to survive. So we look like we losing, but I tell you what, black people hold the key to the votes all around the world, whether we know it or not. We control this whole world with our vote, because if you don't get our vote, you cannot win. And whoever controls this United States, they have a big stake in what goes around in the entire universe. And it all comes down to how we going to vote. And you run over to the Republican Party if you want. You better go back and try to look at how we got in the Democratic Party, because the Republicans kicked us out and they didn't want to have nothing to do with us, and the Democrats came to our rescue. So these people that's getting on here talking, I don't know what they're talking about, and I don't think they do neither. But Chicago is a sanctuary city, and tell them to go look up the facts, and they'll see why these people are coming here, and Chicago can't turn them back. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, next caller, 9017. 9017. 9017, you next caller. 9017. You're the next caller.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Go ahead, my dear sister. Go ahead.
I'm great. How are you, Martin?
Oh, I'm glad to be living in the land of the living.
Okay, Martin, this is so deep. One thing our people need to recognize is that what was taught to me coming from parents that were politically involved is that we were not paying attention back from the 60s to the 70s. And the one main thing is they get enough of them here. They will outnumber us and our vote will not count, period. We as a people have not stood together, fought for what we need to be fighting for. Where is the money, as King said, that they owe us? Why are we marching and fighting for that? Why won't we as a people stand together and recognize how strong we are when we come together? We put so much out here into this world and we get absolutely nothing in return. I look at you, I look at me, I look at us, I look at them. They and all of them look down on us. We have to do better. Stick together. Do what we need to do to support each other.
These people coming here.
Do what we need to support each other.
All right, here, echo somebody.
I'm sorry, Martin.
Okay. But go, you can't listen to Facebook at the same time and talk, baby. So you have to turn your Facebook down and talk directly
Martin,
to
it's
me.
the first time I don't get involved in things like this. It's so deep for me
Uh-huh.
because I come from an activist family, all involved, and I'm really into my people because see, I'm black mixed with black.
Okay.
I just don't wear that skin color. I feel it, and it's a difference. It was everybody wanted to blame us this or that. Let me say this, Martin, and I'm gonna say this, and I mean it from my heart. It was like when we was out there voting and Hillary was running. I knew in my heart Hillary would never get in there due to the simple fact that this is America. She is a woman, and other countries do not respect women as America has given women the right to be respected. Had they put Hillary in office at the time that she was running, we'd have had all them other countries who challenged Trump really hard. All he would have said to the rest of the world, for the strongest country in the world, that they did not have a man to run it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't think the United States could deal with fighting so many wars with so many different countries. So I think they said, Trump, we're going to put you in.
Okay.
We're going to put our people in there. Never in my life have I experienced so many people came to office. Trump fired them left and right. He knew what he was doing. He knew how he got in there.
All right. Hold it right there,
When
sister.
our people wake up and understand.
Hold it right. I got to go to the next caller. Thank you so much. 3829. 3829. Come on, caller. 3829. Caller, you're next. I guess not. Did I call this number 7365? Did I call you 7365? 7365, caller, you're next. Last 4 digits of your number. Oh, well. Let's move on. 5011. 5011, the last 4 digits of your telephone number.
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Martin.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Great.
And so I just want everybody to pay attention to what's going on. The Safety Act starts on September 18th. And so there will be
don't flip
no
the conversation,
cash.
baby. Let's stay on this migrants. Don't flip the
Yeah,
conversation. Okay.
it's about the migrants.
Okay,
Let me tell you.
Okay, come on
It's
now.
about the
All right.
migrants. Let me tell you why it's about the migrants. Please listen to me. September 18th. There will be no cash bail. They haven't committed any crimes here. They don't even have an ID here. So when they go out, second-degree murder, they're going to walk right out the door. Robbery, first of all, trespassing and all that other stuff, that's not going to even be something police going to respond to. So you think you're mad about them being at the police station. When they camping out in front of your crib, in front of your apartment, you're going to be mad then too, but it ain't going to be nothing you can do. You see what I mean? You better protect yourself. Get the same app, because I've been to the police stations, taking footage, talking to them. I have videos. It'll blow your mind. These people are out here sleeping, and I don't mean these people, because we all are people, but they out here sleeping on air mattresses outside the police station. The police, they have y'all been there. You have to go there. Go to your local police station.
What about the people?
Inside.
What about the people that's sleeping along the expressway that don't have an air mattress?
Oh no! I'm not making no comparison. I'm not making no comparison.
I know it, but I'm
you
just
gotta
saying.
take home. You take care of home first. That's the problem. They should have been. We already had a homeless crisis. We already had a crisis in America, period. We cannot afford to take on other people's problems, like the Ukraine and people from Venezuela. I'm so sorry for you, but they want the oil, and they got plenty of oil there. It's a beautiful country. We struggling here. They trick them people, say, oh, we a sanctuary city. That doesn't mean that we just going to take Venezuelans. That's discrimination. You just took a whole group of specific migrants. A lot of people are migrants. What about the Haitians, the Jamaicans, the Africans? What about them? You have stuff rolled out just for Venezuelan migrants. That's discrimination right here in America. That's a lawsuit right here in America. That's discrimination against other people of color. Right?
Right.
And now they had the 16 million, and they said they needed it only until July. So what they do with that money? Because they're not going to be going to Brandon Johnson's house when they're hungry. They're not going to any other people who set as chair people to get that money and oversee that money. They're not going to their house. They're going to the nearest place, which will be wherever the hell you live, and looking at your shit and at your door because they baby hungry, right?
All right.
And this is real. They're not going to the politician's house. They coming to your crib. And so you got to be diligent and know who's who and what's what. And get your politicians, recall him.
Okay.
He could be recalled. Chicago was the first with a recall ordinance. Take his ass out of office like you put him in there. Stop playing with them. Take his ass out of there. You put him in, take his ass out.
All right. Let me go to the next call. I had one person hang up already. All right. 1116. Come on, call. I'm sorry to keep you on hold long. Sorry,
Hello.
Hey,
Can you
how
hear me?
doing? Yes, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Good. With the migrants, I have seen them at the police station. And the police station, and I'm up there all the time because I'm a community activist. And it looks horrible. It's trash everywhere. So you could just imagine what your community is going to look like. And yes, they're laying on airbeds. Someone probably donated to them. They can get behind where the police are now because they have to go to the bathroom. So, we just feel so we feel like we're not protected as a people. And I think we need to go to our politicians and they need to stop this right now. They shouldn't let any more migrants in the city of Chicago. I believe that Harold Washington is the one that started the sanctuary city. So, but I'm quite sure they can stop it in some type of way. But we do need to come together as a people. That's the hardest thing in the world for us as Black people to do.
You think?
Divide and
Hold
conquer.
on. Now, are you talking about? Let's stop it. Stop it right there, because we put all this stuff in energy, this negativity in the energy. I'm gonna call it negative. Black people can get together. We do get together. We just get together on small things, minor things. We need to just say we need to get together on major things. Just say that, because we let you slide together.
Okay.
We do family reunions, block clubs, and all types of stuff. We do together, car clubs, but we need to get together on something that's major, that's going to benefit the group. Just say that, because see, and I'm gonna say, dear sister, let me say this to you too, sister. We don't need every Black person on board. We need the majority of Black people on board. You know what I'm saying? When we have the majority, that means we still can get things done, because I don't believe white people are 100% on board with every white person, but they got the majority of white people on board so they can get things done. And that's what we need. We need the majority of Black people to get on one accord, get on board. And we can get some things done. I'm going to say it that way. Because don't put that out in the atmosphere no more, that Black people can't get together. We don't stick together. We do stick together.
Well, I know we get together, but, like you said, the majority of us, for the greater good for our community.
Yes.
And I think all of the small community areas, they need to all come together some type of way. I don't know. I'm quite sure you could probably connect everyone together, and we can organize and do something. I mean, this is not an option. We just yelling and screaming, and yes, we all are upset about what's going on. But like the guy said, what are we going to do from here?
And I agree with that guy.
We have to organize and come together, and stop arguing and fussing among each other also. Because it seems like we all want the same thing. We want this to stop. And I do believe that these are getting ready to be votes.
Yes.
These people that are here.
Yes. I'm going to tell y'all something.
So they're not going to need our vote.
Yeah. The Latino community is going to be the #1 voting base here in America. Trust me. They got a plan.
But this is something that's been happening, been in the making for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think about back in the 90s when they ounced Blacks up out of jobs. And then they went hire number illegal immigrants. I'm talking about in the industrial industry.
Mm-hmm.
And now you bringing them same ones back into our community. You look at Inglewood now. No, all this gun shooting and everything, I know we doing some of it, but I have watched because I'm from Inglewood also. I have watched the police work with the criminals.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start shooting. Then the police right there. They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're part of it. They sell drugs right behind the police station. So how could that happen? I remember something that Malcolm X said. He said, "Why do you think crime never leaves our community?" Because he was saying the police are in on it. Most of them are in on it. Now it's a different way of policing now, but hopefully we have some good ones in there now. But with these asylum seekers, I want to call them illegal immigrants, because that's what they are to me.
Mm-hmm.
They are illegal immigrants, and we got to go from the White House to the outhouse in that city hall.
Mm-hmm.
Our governor, this is bigger than what we think. And we got to look back. We got to open our minds up to what's been going on for the last 20 years or more.
Mm. Yeah.
We have to, we really do. Because if you think about it, from the 90s, you house them out of job. Blacks went in survival mode. That's why they end up with the drugs, selling all the drugs and everything in their community, because no one will hire them. But I believe it's a gift inside of all of us. We don't have to sell drugs or whatever to bring our neighborhoods down. We just bring that gift out of us and sell that gift. But that's basically what I wanted to say.
Okay,
we just have to come together. That's the bottom line. And
Thank you.
be on
Well,
one accord.
you know what I think? This is what I think, and we're going to close out in a minute. This is what I think. Black people see themselves losing the little power that they have. This is what I see. They know they are being replaced. When I say we can see it. We can see it. And right now we just panicking. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully
it's
so.
on the wall. It's been on the wall.
It's on the wall. It's on the wall. And the Latino vote is going to be the number one voting base in the United States of America. They're going to allow these illegal immigrants, migrants, asylum seekers, whatever you want to call them, they're going to be voting. They're already in Illinois. They could be police officers. So that's the handwriting on the wall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another thing. I heard that they were saying immigrants that's not citizens, they was going to start making them police officers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So black people, hold on. Let me talk to these black people here. Black people, listen to me. And I'm pointing my finger. Yeah, I'm pointing my finger, and I got 3 pointing back at me. But guess what? We in trouble. And if we don't come together as a group, we don't have to be, it don't have to be 100% black people. We need the majority of black people. We can get some things done. We got to stop coming together, lecture sliding and all that. Y'all know I love to see people dance. I film them. But we got to get together and get a plan. We have to have a blueprint, because what's going to happen? This is what's going to happen. In the next 20 years, our grandchildren, children, they're not going to be able to get a McDonald's job, a Burger King job, a Popeye's job, or no other labor job. You already see it right now. Cutting grass, building maintenance, construction. You see it now. I'm at the flea market just about every weekend. And you know who got that bag? Them Spanish people. They got that bag. They pulling that money out. And y'all keep talking that stuff, talking about they working for cheap and for free. Listen, they getting that money.
Oh, no.
Listen, oatmeal beats no meal. Hold on, ma'am. Oatmeal beats no meal. Trust me.
Yeah.
Listen, black people, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Pretty soon, we're going to have to go through the Mexicans to get to the white people just to get something. The white people already tired of looking at us. They tired. They don't want to be bothered with us. We done got too smart. We done got too sophisticated. They got the
We
attitude.
dominate everything
Yeah.
that we do if we're given equal
Look.
opportunity.
Ma'am, I'm talking now. I'm getting going. Just kind of slow down. Let me rant real quick. Then I'll let you come back. All right. So, black people, we looking at our demise folding in our eyes. Nothing we could do about it. Our politicians, they stuck. They frozen in fear. They know what's going on, but guess what? They're catering to the Democratic Party. Their interest is not to the black race, it's to the Democratic Party. That's what it is. Now, don't get me wrong. The Republicans not going to save black people, just like the Democrats are not going to save black people. Now, we might get a little bit more freedom with the Democrats, but listen, none of them mean us no good. Trust me.
Better. Yeah.
This same talk,
Better say that.
they had back in the 60s, and I was born in 68. They still talking about jobs, justice, no justice. So what we gonna do, black people? What are we gonna do about it? Are we gonna just sit and complain and be mad and bitter at the migrants? Because listen, the migrants don't care about, I have a dream one day that the black girls and black boys gonna hold hands. They don't care nothing about that. They don't care nothing about Malcolm X. That's not their history. They don't care about Marcus Garvey. That's nothing to them. They don't care about Elijah Muhammad. They don't care about Minister Louis Farrakhan. None of them, Jesse Jackson. They over here to compete and eat. Whatever that we don't take advantage of, they're going to take it. Trust me. This is wartime, people. Not wartime where you pull out your gun and shoot somebody, but it's time to compete. If you don't compete, black people, you're going to be left behind. You're going to be just like the migrants here in the city of Chicago. That's how a lot of black people are going to be, sleeping in police stations, in tents. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You know who hold the power. You know who allowing them to come over here is white people. The same white people put the rules on us. If you get caught driving without driver's license, you're going to jail. You'll get a ticket. Now, you know the migrants ain't got no driving license. You know and I know, but they driving cars. You know they don't have no driving license. You know they have not been vaccinated or vaccinated. They're in public schools now. But they tell us, well, if you don't get your sons and daughters vaccinated, they can't come. But not so with them. So that goes to show you who's in control, who's running things. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Let me let this last caller. I'm gonna come back to you, 1116. Let me see what this caller want. 4093. Go ahead. 4093.
Yes, sir, Dr. Martin.
Hey. Old time.
Yeah, I just have to say this. Everything you're saying is right. And I was looking at the part before you came on. I didn't see hardly any young men, black men, getting up there talking, but I saw the ladies up there talking. So the men have to stand for their families. Because it is their children that's going to these schools. And if we don't have a presence out there, and every time you look around, the ladies have to be doing all of the talking, all of the arguing and different things, but then that's not good for us. But see, when you go, what people have to understand, when they had that Republican debate on TV the other night, they didn't have not one black question on it. So that goes to show you that the Republican Party is not trying to find out how we're going to do for blacks. All that stuff was about voting and whatever they was talking about. It had nothing to do with the black community. And as soon as we get somebody up there, we want somebody to speak for us. But that's not what it's about. It's about what you're going to do for yourself. And that's when you get up in the morning, where are you going once you get up? Do you have a job to go to? Do you have a job to go to from 3 to 11? Do you have a job to go to from 11 to 7 in the morning? What is it that you want to do? Because there's nothing that's going to change. And if our young men are not working, that is where our downfall is going to be. We have to be there for our children. We have to stand up for our children. We have to show our children the best, put their best foot forward. The man has to do that. See, so all of these things about the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, it's about what you need to do for yourself. And the black people gonna always be in control. I heard what you said on some things, but we got enough black people down the pipeline that come out of strong families, and if they don't come out of strong families, some have emerged anyway, to be able to stand up and hold those park district jobs, to hold those alderman jobs. But these are people that can speak well. These are people that can stand in front of people and can talk. They don't have to curse when they get up and talk. You put some of our young people on TV, they want to curse and do everything. We're not putting our best foot forward. So the people don't want to have nothing to do with those people. They turn into the Hispanics. The Hispanics is not going to upset the apple cart. And that's what we got to compete with. The Democratic Party, I'm going to say it again, that's our base. You can't vote local Democrat and then jump to the presidential race and turn around and say, I want to vote Republican. You can't do that. So you got to hold the Democratic Party feet to the fire. If you jump up and run independent, you got to understand there's only a two-party system that can run for the presidency, Democrat or Republican. Don't be deceived. You say, well, I'm independent. Well, you just a vote for the Republican Party. That's all you are. Because that's the reason why you're independent is because you want to be a Republican, but you just don't want to say it. But that's our base right there. And every time your nephew, your niece, and anybody else, your cousin, when they run as a Democrat. Now you can't jump up there and say, well, I want to be a Republican because of Trump. You're just gonna have to find out what you need to do for yourself, and being educated, number one, that's where your success is going to be. If you're not properly educated, then you're not going to have anything. And that's where we stand at right now. Those people are going to school. Those people are opening schools for those migrants. The Africans don't want to have nothing to do with us. The Haitians really don't want to have nothing to do with us. The Jamaicans don't want to have nothing to do with us. We out there by ourselves. And that's the way that that's the only way that we're going to have to look at it. We was here before they were here. But them Jamaicans are not out there doing all that crime and killing. Them Africans are not out there doing all that crime and killing. These American blacks is out there doing all that crime and killing. And we the ones, we've been here for 400 years, and we still can't find our place. White people come here, the Polish people come here, the people from Turkey, they come here and do all kinds of stuff. What we out there doing? Still running around killing. It all depends what we want to do. And then we want somebody to look past it, talking about, oh, well, you know, they're against the black man. Ain't nobody against you. It's you against yourself. That's what that's all about. Live, uncut.
All right, old timer. All right. Come on, 1116. I give you the last thing. I cut you off. Go ahead. I know he said a lot, but go ahead. I'm giving you, I tell you, I was coming back to you. I'm going to be a man of my word. Go ahead, 1116.
All right.
Go ahead.
But I just think we need to really hold people accountable. And that's one of the main things we need to do. We have to hold parents accountable. We have to hold ourselves accountable. And yes, I agree with him when he was saying the men, the women, we're doing everything. And, you know, I'm a leader in my community, but I ask the men, I've been looking forward for a man to step up to the plate. I don't know what's the problem, why they would not step up. You know, men are the ones that should be protecting and controlling their communities, not the women. We're supposed to be your helpmeet. You know, so men, they really have to step up for their children, their families, and the homes. I mean, it's a breakdown of the black family. Majority of the residents that live in my community, they're single family mothers, women. They're women running the household, not men. You know, so I think if we get that family structure back together, then that probably could work. But I'm a woman of God before I'm anything, and I just think we just living in the last days, you know.
unto my people who are called by my name, humble themselves, pray, seek his face, turn from our wicked ways. Then we hear God, we can hear God from heaven, and he'll forgive our sins and heal our land. So, but we got to come to God first. We're going to have to get that prayer back in. That's what's going to work, prayer.
Well, I'll say this, not just only prayer only, but we need some action behind that prayer too. We just can't pray and sit down and watch. Because see, because a lot of times we use prayer as a scapegoat. Just pray about it, leave it to the Lord, and that be it. You know, no, we ain't praying no way.
God will lead you. Yeah. He'll lead you what to do and how to do it. You know, if you're praying.
Yeah, but we've been praying. We've been praying for 400 years, my dear woman of God. But something got to happen.
People done turned away from God.
Yeah,
I think we done turned away from God. We haven't taught our children about God. You know.
Hold on, my dear sister. I got an anonymous caller. I don't accept anonymous calls, so I just want to let you know that. So if you can't call and show your number, I will not accept your call. I'm just letting you know that. So okay, all right, okay. I don't do that. Because people don't like what we're doing on here. Yeah. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Somebody, we got somebody just being disrespectful. Yeah. But this is definitely live, uncut, unedited. Definitely live, uncut, unedited. So I appreciate everybody that's calling in. If you call in anonymous, I will not accept your call. Trust me, I have not given nobody number out on this platform they've called without their permission, nor do I call your number back without your permission. So I don't double back, but just if you have my number, I'd like to have your number too as well, because that's a real number that you called on this phone. It's a real number. So I want to thank you guys. Thank you guys for your opinion. And to sum it up to me, Black people, we're in trouble if we don't do anything. If this don't bring us together, if this don't unite us, every stone, every bottle, everything that the oppressor threw at us, we withstood it. We're still here. Got to call it, people. 0812. You can talk real quick. 08, probably still listen to the prompts. 0812. I don't know what happened. 0812. You're welcome to call. I can't hear you. Hello? Can't hear you, caller. You had to hang up and call back. Maybe he or she got to call back. But we have to do something. We have to do something because Black people, we're being left behind. And old timers said we're killing each other, but I tell you, we're not the only ones killing each other. And all of us is not killers. All of us not drug users. All of us not ghetto, as you guys say. All of us not beggars and slicksters and looking for something free. But anybody can use some extra help. I can. I'm quite sure you can too. So I'm not going to let the oppressor shame me for asking for help. See, one thing, Black people, don't ever get so proud that you don't want to accept help. Don't ever, ever be so proud that you don't want to accept help. How you think a lot of these people, both white, Black, all nationalities, get ahead by having help? There's no one millionaire here in the United States became a millionaire by himself. Someone had to help him get there. He didn't do it all by himself. He may have had an idea, but somebody had to work that idea in order to bring him millions. Real talk. So again, I thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everything. Thank you so much. And I'm out of here. Appreciate you for tuning in. Live, uncut, unedited. It is what it is. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. This is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. And I don't know about you. I love being black. All right. I want to say before I close, I did see a person white, and she made a statement, said if I would have said a racist comment on here, they would have chewed up, and she is definitely correct. Now, I want to say this is a black platform where we do have black people that follow us, that come on here and listen. So if anybody's offended, any other race is offended, I apologize to you. But it is what it is. And this is a real platform that we tell the truth and shame the devil. Now, I'm not going to allow no one on this platform to shout out racist stuff on this live. We don't do that. I'm not going to allow that. Now, you might see some things in the messenger, but I have to catch it. But I'm not going to allow that. I'm not that type of person. I believe in respecting all walks of life. I believe that, and I stand for that. But what I don't apologize of being, I love being black. Now, I ain't gonna apologize for that. I love being black. And I ain't gonna apologize for tell the truth and shame the devil. I ain't apologizing for that. But thank y'all so much. This is live, uncut, unedited. Thank all my panel. Thank you guys for calling in. Those that called in didn't get a chance to talk. Thank you for even just thinking.